All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone for teaching us His truth to rule well. All right, I'm gonna go into something, that it was inspired by Elder Tahar. He mentioned it in a couple videos already. That Jake has fried brains, man. And as I was listening, this scene came up in my mind from a show called Stranger Things. All right, and it reminds me of Jake, man. That's how Jake is. Seemingly they look helpless. All right, you try to help them and they don't want your help. They don't respond to your help. It's like they're brain dead. So I'm actually gonna play this scene. All right, it's a minute long, but I'll probably only play a couple seconds, maybe about 40 seconds. But here, I'll play it.
Breathe. They're on their way.
Stay with us, darling.
Sunflower. 3 to the right, 4 to the left. Rainbow. 450. Breathe. Sunflower. Rainbow. 450. Breathe. 3 to the right. Breathe. 4 to the left. Breathe. Sunflower. Rainbow. Breathe. Rainbow. 3 to the right, 4 to the left. 450.
All right, Jake is in that state, man. That woman she can't even communicate with anybody. Her brain is completely fried, and she just sits there and she's helpless and she just repeats herself, and that little girl that was there, she has these special powers and she tries, to communicate with her mom, and she couldn't. She had to use her powers to get inside of her mind to see what was going on, and she saw what happened. She replayed the same scenes over and over and over, and that's all she speaks, in the same in the same way Esau Edom programmed a lot of these Jakes, man, and all they speak is what they hear. That's all they do, man. And they look helpless, and you try to help them and wake them up, and you're like, hey, brother, you're an Israelite, all right? Our father is the Most High Yahweh. His son's name is Yahweh Shai, all right? His son came here to help us, and what do you get out of it, man? Nothing, all right? They look at you like you're stupid, like you're brainwashed, all right? Like you follow a cult, all right? They don't want to be woken up, man. Like that J. Cole song, Don't Save Her. She don't want to be saved. That's the same thing with Israel right now, man. And I'm talking about the 2/3. Don't save them, man. They don't want to be saved. They love Esau. They love following after the white man. They say they hate him. They say they hate his society. But in reality, they love it. Because if they really did hate it, and they really did feel like there was injustice, guess who they would follow? Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. They would follow Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And talking about the justice system, all right, that's Esau's way, man. That's the heathen's way. The law of justice, that's their way, And I'll get into the scriptures in a minute, But our way is the way of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, which is righteousness. All right, not just what seems good, not just what seemingly might be, the best way. We do what is good in the eyes of the Most High, man. So this is John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father will ye do. All right, and who is your father? You either have one master or none at all, man. You know? Or you even have one master or the other. Salakia. You know? It's either you serve Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai or you serve Esau Edom. There's no in between, you know? It always ends up coming up to either one or the other. You know? So if you're not serving Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, guess who you're serving? Esau Edom. You know? It says he was a murderer from the beginning. Now, who's the first murderer we know? It was Cain. All right? Cain killed Abel. He slew Abel. Murdered Abel. You know? First, it was a person, you know, in the Garden of Eden that was known as the snake, a serpent, which is simply just a backstabber, you know? And the scriptures verify that it was actually people and not an actual serpent, you know? And then through the reincarnation, he came back as Cain, and Abel was Jacob, you know? And then Cain, which is Esau, killed Abel, which is Jacob. And then later on through the reincarnation, all right, Esau came back, and then it was Jacob that came back, you know? But that's who you serve, man. You serve the other side, you know, if you're not serving Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So that's why it says he was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, you know? Why do you think Cain was not accepted by the Most High, man? I always wondered. And nobody had an explanation. Oh, the Most High works in mysterious ways. That's all I got, man. You know? But why was Cain not accepted? Because he was wicked. From the beginning. That's why when he offered an offering to the Most High didn't accept it. Later on, he told Cain, you know, if you're righteous, don't you think I'll accept, you know, your offering? But he wasn't righteous. He was wicked. You know? It says, because there is no truth in him. You see? So you don't abide in the truth because there's no truth in you, man. And I'm speaking, you know, to myself first and foremost, man. Putting that fear. And not that worldly fear, that godly fear, man. You know? You got to serve Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai with a sincere heart, man. With a contrite spirit. You know? It may seem easy, but like Elder Tahar even said, man, it's not easy. It's difficult. It's a difficult road, man. You know? If it wasn't difficult, anybody can do it. You see? It says, when he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not. Which of you convinceth me of sin? And if I say the truth, why do you not believe me? He that is of the Most High heareth the Most High's words. Ye therefore hear them not, because ye are not of the Most High. You see? So Jake's brains are fried, man. They're glued to whatever this man put in their head. You know? Okay, the Big Bang Theory was real. The scripture's not real. All right? Everything is being held up, you know, by dark matter, not by a dark man. You know? All kinds of stuff, man. There's always a logical explanation to everything. There's no spirits and no ghosts. That's not supported by science. And they believe in Esau Edom's science. We came from monkeys. That's a bunch of BS. You know? But when you show them, look, brother, look, you know, the Most High cares for you. You're an Israelite. You know? The Most High is going to come back in chariots. You become what? A laughing stock, man. And that has been from the very beginning. From the very beginning, prophets have been set up. And guess what? They've all been laughing stocks, man. You know? So it's of no news, you know, that these people find us as nuisance, as you know, idiots, annoying. You know? There's no news, man. because that's how Israel is, especially Israel, man. You know, when they hear these words of truth, they stop their ears, man. You know, they don't want to hear it. They want to hear sweet lies instead of the bitter truth. You know, and sadly, that's just how it is. That's how it is with Israel, man. But if you're of the Most High, then you're going to remain with the Most High, man. You know? And if you're of the wicked, then guess what? You're going to get destroyed. This is Job 27:11. I will teach you by the hand of the Most High, that which is the Almighty will I not conceal. Behold, all ye yourselves have seen it. Why then are ye thus altogether vain? This is the portion of a wicked man with the Most High, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty. All right. So who are the oppressors? The Persians, the Romans, the heathen. All right. The Edomites. Those are all oppressors, man. You know, those are all wicked men. From the beginning, they stood up against Israel. Let me see if I can actually bring that out. Let me go on this one. What was it? Ezekiel. Get to it real quick. Ezekiel. What was it? Ezekiel 31, I believe. The past 11th year. Let me start off at verse 3. It says, Behold, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon with fair branches and with a shadowing shroud and of a high stature, and his top was among the thick boughs. The waters made him great. The deep set him upon high with her rivers running round about his plants, and sent out her little rivers unto the trees of the field. Therefore his height was exalted above all the trees of the field, and his boughs were multiplied, and his branches became long because of the multitude of waters when he shot forth. All the fowls of heaven made their nests in his boughs, and under his branches did all the beasts of the field bring forth their young, and under his shadow dwell all great nations. You see? It says, Thus was he fair in his greatness, in the length of his branches, for his root was by great waters. And this is actually talking about the Garden of Eden, you know, because it was around that area, you know, the Fertile Crescent. It says, The cedars in the garden of the Most High would not hide him. The fir trees were not like his boughs, and the chestnut trees were not like his branches, nor any tree in the garden of the Most High was like unto him in his beauty. I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden that were in the garden of the Most High envied him. You see? So that's actually talking about nations. You know, in the Garden of Eden, it wasn't just Adam and Eve, and, you know, Eve came from the actual rib of Adam. So now he was walking around with one less rib, you know. That's why when he said flesh of my flesh and bones of my bones, he was talking about somebody close to him, a relative, you know, probably a cousin, you know, because the book of Exodus, the book of Leviticus explains to you what woman you can have and what woman you can't have, you know, how close of a relative you can have and how close you cannot have, you know, a sister you cannot have, you know, a daughter-in-law you can't have, a daughter you can't have, you know, a sister-in-law you can't have, but you can have a cousin, you know, according to scripture. I'm not saying to go out there and go do that, man. You know, I'm just telling you according to scripture what's acceptable in the eyes of the Most High, not acceptable in society, you know. So she was probably a cousin, you know, to Adam. That's why he said, flesh of my flesh, bones of my bones. You know, in the book of Judges, you have the brother or the son of Gilead, all right, one of the 70, what was it, 70 and 10? No, it was 70. It was 70. So 70. There were 70 brothers, and one of them, one of the sons of Gilead, went to his family side, and he was like, "Hey, do you want 70 rulers over you, or just one?" So he went over and he slaughtered the rest of his brethren except for one. But he said, I'm the bone of your bones and the flesh of your flesh. Why? Because he was a relative. So in the Garden of Eden, the trees represents the people. So there was nations, and there was one garden. Let me see. I'll actually try and get that one. I will water my best garden. In Sirach 24:31, I said, I will water my best garden, and will water abundantly my garden bed. And lo, my brook became a river, and my river became a sea. All right, and that's by way of wisdom. But that garden is talking about Israel. That's the Most High's best garden. So it says, going back over here in Ezekiel, it says, I have made him fair, verse 9, by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden that were in the garden of the Most High envied him. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because thou hast lifted up thyself in height, and hast shot up his top among the thick boughs, and his heart is lifted up in his height, I have therefore delivered him into the hand of the mighty one of the heathen. He shall surely deal with him. I driven him out for his wickedness. So the Most High has the power to set you up as a king and take you out. So Esau, Edom being the father of these 2/3 and of these heathen, the Most High has the power to take him out, man. He was set there up for a reason, and that reason was to deceive. And the 2/3 were set up for a reason too, and that reason is for the 1/3, for the elect. Like it says in Romans 11. They were set up there for the sake of the elect. To have somebody to go against them. You see? But concerning the election, the Most High chose all Israel, the 2/3 and the 1/3. And the 2/3 are going to come back in the kingdom through the elect, all right, through the seed line of the elect. So it says, this is the portion, Job 27:13. This is the portion of a wicked man with the Most High, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offering shall not be satisfied with bread. Let me repeat that verse. Verse 14. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offering shall not be satisfied with bread. All right? So you're only fuel to the fire, man. These heathen, they're only fuel to the fire. These Edomites are going to get it, man, according to scripture. That's the portion of a wicked man. It says, those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep. You see, the women aren't going to cry whenever you're destroyed, man, because they're going to know who the true power is. They're going to see the elect doing those things, man. It says, though he heap up silver as dust, and prepare raiment as the clay, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver. You see, that stuff is all this stuff, that you think you're going to be preparing for, this apocalyptic end of the world type stuff. Your bunkers and all this stuff, all that stuff is going to be left behind for a righteous man. You're not going to be able to enjoy it, man. And just like it says in the book of Job also, what was it, Job, was it 30 or Job 20? I believe it was, let me see, that was the win. Yeah, it was Job 20, and it says, Let me start off at 19. Job 20:19. Because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away a house which he builded not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. You know? It says, there shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. You know? So every heathen is going to turn against Esau, Edom, man. You know? But that which you thought you had, you know, you were saving up, and you're like, man, when I come back, you know, talking about the elites, thinking that they're going to, you know, destroy whatever they can and then come back and rule over the leftovers. When they come back, man, as soon as they're going to be eating that food, the Most High is going to make it throw it back up. You know? It says it up here, verse 15. Job 20:15, it says, he hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. You see? So you think you got all this money, man, that's not going to save you. You know? That says it also in Isaiah chapter 1. You know? You think you got all this stuff that's going to save you, man, and you're going to find out that it's actually for your destruction. You know? There's going to be nothing left here in America for anybody to want. You know? This place is going to be left desolate, man. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 10. And let me see. Verse 2, a wise man's heart is at his right hand, but a fool's heart is at his left. It says, yea, also, when he that is a fool walketh by the way, his wisdom faileth him, and he saith to everyone that he is a fool. If the spirit of the ruler rise up against thee, leave not thy place, for yielding pacifieth great offenses. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceedeth from the ruler. Folly is set in great dignity, and rich sit in a low place. All right. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a low place. You know, and that's also, let me get Sirach. You know, it's similar to Ecclesiasticus or Ecclesiastes 10. It says in verse 1, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler is, such are all they that dwell therein. You see? So now you know who the wicked is. You know? Esau, Edom is in rulership right now, man. And if we're not in a perfect place and we're still having famine and viruses and destructions and wars, then that means we're not in a perfect place. That means the kingdom of heaven is still not here. You know? It says, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable, which is who? Yahushua. All right? Our Lord and our Savior, man. You know? That's the one that is profitable. And he's not in rulership, clearly. You know? Clearly he's not in rulership. Because if he was, there would be no more war. All right? Israel would be in rulership. And we would see Yahushua. We would know Yahushua. You know? We would know the Most High. And why is there so many atheists right now? You know? Why are those people in Israel right now? You know, every year they celebrate the gay parade. Pink City. You know? Come on, man. So jumping down to 8. He that diggeth a pit shall fall into it, and whoso breaketh an hedge, a serpent shall bite him. Whoso removeth stones shall be hurt therewith, and he that cleaveth wood shall be endangered thereby. All right? You're digging your own grave, man. You know? And this is mainly for the elect. All right? And like I said, this is basically to put good fear in you. You know? That godly fear. To fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, to want to do good. You know? To not want to be bad. To want righteousness. To want instruction. Oh, that reminds me. You know, I had been looking for this precept for a long time, man. You know what? I'll get it in a minute. Let me actually go to Wisdom of Solomon. Was it 2? And verse 11. Let our strength be the law of justice. All right, and this is the wicked. These are the heathen speaking. You know. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. Therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending of the law, and objecteth to our infamy the transgression of our education. You know? Because you have these police officers, you know, like that video that Elder Apostle Tahar made. You know, you have these jakes that are in the military, police officers, you know, people of high rank. And you have these jakes that feel like Edomites, man. You know, there's no waking up, especially those jakes, man. You know, unless the Most High has mercy, but especially those jakes, you know. The ones that are in high places in the Christian church, you know. There's a lot of different people out there in this world, man. And the Elder Apostle Tahar made a video talking about the Matrix. You know, I watched that movie 2 days ago. All 3 of them. And, you know, there's a lot of similarities with the truth, man. You know, you have these agents, these people out here that seemingly they look docile, seemingly they look humble. All right, but when you search inside of their spirits, they're just another agent. They're just another person ready to become an agent, man. You know, those wicked demons recognize you. They know who you are. Being a man of the Lord, they know who you are, man. You know, so what are they going to do? They're going to try and bring you down. Get you involved with their type of lifestyle. And they're going to try and bring you down. You know, but Esau Edom's law is of justice. This seems right. This seems right over here. This seems bad. You know? That's how they deal with things, man. We deal with offending of the law. All right? We follow after the law, the statutes, the commandments, the righteousness, the faith that we carry. It's going to bring forth those works. You know? Yahweh Shai walked in that way. And are we not supposed to be like Yahweh Shai? It says, verse 13, he professeth to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he calleth himself the child of the Most High. That's specially Yahweh Shai, all right, but also the elect. The elect are going to profess that knowledge, man, because that's what that knowledge is here for. You know? What is that in the book of Sirach? I believe better is a fool. How does it go? Better is a fool that basically stays quiet. All right. But a man, you know, with this knowledge, with this truth, or then a man that has this knowledge, you know, because if you're sitting on this knowledge, on this truth, that's for your harm, man. You know, because we're supposed to show that. Profess what we know. You know, it says he was made to reprove our thoughts. You see, so you have to judge, man. Judge righteously. You know, don't just judge foolishly and say, you know, this person's wicked because, you know, look how they're dressed. You know, this is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 14. It says, for the hope of the ungodly is like dust that is blown away with the wind, like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm, like as a smoke which is dispersed here, there with a tempest, and passeth away as a remembrance of the guest that tarrieth but a day. All right? Because what is that tempest? That destruction, man. You know? When Yahweh Hashem Yahushai comes back in those chariots, all right, that's going to be your destruction, man. The ICBMs coming in also is going to be your destruction. You know? So the hope of the godly is like dust that is blown away with the wind, which is what? Nothing. You know? There's no base to it. There's nothing to it, man. No strength. You know? And that's basically what that's talking about. In the next chapter, Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 17, it says, for the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline. This is the one I was looking for a while, you know, for a couple months. I thought it was worded a little bit differently, you know, but I thought it said basically a righteous man would desire discipline, or a righteous man will desire correction. You know, this is basically a lot along those lines. It says, for the very true beginning of her, which is wisdom, is the desire of discipline. All right. So you have to desire to be disciplined, you know, not to be beaten literally. All right. But spiritually, you might have to take an ass whooping in order to correct yourself. But if you're taking spiritual ass whoopings day after day after day after day after day, every single time a brother has to get onto you, hey man, look, you got to make a video. Hey man, look, you got to read, you got to study, you know. If you're spiritually taking ass whoopings all the time, man, you're going to end up going against the truth, because it's a grievous thing, you know. Like the apostle said, no correction seemeth joyous for the moment. But if that moment is every single day, you're going to be like, man, what is this? You know, and you're going to shy away from the truth. So what should you do? Move with fear, you know, because if you're like those jakes, man, that, you know, like Apostle Tahar said, with fried brains, then all you know is what you're told. All you know is what the society wants you to know. You're not going to be able to pass that, break that limit. You know, like you have the Super Saiyans, and in order for them to break that limit, they had to be pissed off, man. They had to be angry. And they broke their limits and they became Super Saiyans. You know? That same reason, that's what helps us get out of this world, man. You know? Once you hear a little bit, you're like, man, for real? You know, you wanna hear more, but it pisses you off instantly. Like, damn, I'm an Israelite. All right? I should be following the Lord this way, and they've been hiding it from me this whole time? Why? And then you come to the realization that this world is wicked. You know? And if you want change, you're going to follow after Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. You're going to desire discipline. Please show me the way. That's what a righteous man wants. To be shown the correct way. All right? So these other camps, man, that are not part of Great Millstone, or that call themselves to be part of Great Millstone, or associate with Great Millstone, and they're not trying to follow after the righteousness, you know, that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has set up through Elder Tahar on down, then guess what? You don't desire that truth, man. You don't desire the discipline. You just want to show off and show everybody that you know. You want to be your own person. You know? And that's not right. You know? It says, and the care of discipline is love. You see? So you want to come out here with this BS Christianity saying, you know, you got to love everybody, man. You got to love. What's the first thing you got to love, man? Yahweh the Most High. And Yahweh Shai. And the knowledge you know, through the Spirit. And loving discipline is what? That's love. Loving the law, statutes, and commandments. That's love towards Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know? Showing that godly fear, that's love. It's not talking about go out there and just fucking start hugging everybody and kissing everybody and saying you love them and you're good, you're going to be saved. That's not it, man. You know? That's not it. That's being superficial. You know, yeah, you do gotta show love. All right? But not to that extent, man. You know? So let me read that again. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and verse 17. For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love, and the love is keeping of her laws. Check that out, man. And the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption, and incorruption maketh us near unto the Most High. There you go. You just received all the steps, man. All the steps you got to follow, all right, to be a righteous man, to not be one of those fried brains out there. You know? Discipline. You know? How did Bruce Lee become such a great fighter, man? And we believe Bruce Lee is an Israelite, but how did he become such a great fighter? Discipline. He had to discipline his body. All right? Doing 2-finger, 1-finger push-ups. You know? Being able to react in an instant. That took discipline, man. You know? That show, Dragon Ball Z, how are Goku and Vegeta such great fighters? Discipline. That's all they worry about, man. You know? All they worry about is warring and fighting and mastering their mastery, you know? Because they're already masters, but they're trying to master their mastery. And constantly trying to master that mastery and master that mastery and going above and beyond, man. That's what it is to be an Israelite. It doesn't mean to have Israelite parties, all right? It doesn't mean to, okay, now I can go around and have a bunch of women and you know, mess around with this one and mess with... No, man. All right? To be an Israelite is to be disciplined. That's the true meaning. Yashar Allah, all right, means prince of the power. Yashar, or Yah means he, Shar is prince, Allah is God or power. He is a prince of the power. You know? And what's a prince to a king? A son. And when you have a son, what do? You discipline. All right? Look, don't be jumping off of that couch, man. You're going to hurt yourself. Look, sit here. Look, don't be screaming, man. You need to calm yourself. Look, don't be treating your mother like that. You gotta be respectful. That's discipline, man. In the same fashion, all right, you're disciplined to follow after the laws, the statutes, the commandments with faith. All right, because if you have faith, it's gonna bring those things in according to Scripture. All right, you're gonna pray. You know, you're gonna be a righteous man. You know, but if you're a fried brain man, all right, if you want to come up against the Hebrew Israelite movement, you want to come up against this truth, guess what you are, man? You're just a son of the devil. All right, an antichrist. That's what you are. Fuel to the fire. Sheep to the slaughter. That's all you are, man. You know? So if you want to be brainwashed and follow everything this man is saying and no, man, we're going to be okay, the end of the world is not coming, all right, then you keep believing what you want to believe, man. Let the righteous be righteous still and let the unrighteous be unrighteous still, man. You know? Let the unbelievers be unbelievers. Let bygones be bygones. You know? We're not out here trying to convince the wicked, man. We're out here for a reason, all right? And that reason is not the left-hand side. That reason is the right-hand side. That reason is salvation, you know? So those that desire discipline, those are the children of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. You know? the ones that want to be corrected. So with that, I want to say shalom. And as always, giving all honor, glory, and power to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And double honor to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone. To the brothers out there laboring in this truth, I say shalom.